It's funny. It's an actual police badge. I mean, I went to a uniform store and had it made, and the guy.
I feel like Frank 5's the kind of guy who already had a fake police badge.
There's some other stuff.
Yeah. And his house is absolutely stunning. It's got a bar. When have you been in a house with a bar?
I just said that to Mrs. 5 as she poured me a drink that I turned my back. I'm not sure what was in it. I was like, I'm rarely in a house. Like maybe Kevin's house is the last time I was in a place with a full bar. And they've got like this, these windows that overlook a giant valley and shit.
And what do you do again? Are you willing to say?
I work at a college. I'm the teacher, professor.
Professor.
Yeah.
Professor of
education.
Professor of education.
Yeah.
So
I was an elementary school teacher for 20 years, and then I got hired at the college just about 3 years ago. And what I do is I run a program in which people who want to become elementary school teachers, they come through the college, and we tell them what courses and what they have to take and so on, to help them with their certification and do it that way. Yeah. So
this man cave and all the trophies that you have accumulated down there, was this
We're not talking about the humans. We're talking about the other ones.
Prior to you getting a job at the college? Because a teacher's salary isn't that great that you could have this kind of setup.
He's a professor.
Right? Is this all accumulated after becoming a professor?
No, I had a lot of this stuff before. Like all the autographs were I got them because I either wrote to the celebrities or met the celebrities. So I never purchased any of the autographs.
Okay.
And then a lot of the other stuff, not everybody finds what I find interesting. So like all that Ripley's Believe It or Not stuff.
Yeah, he's got a gigantic Ripley's Believe It or Not section in his man cave.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I love that stuff.
He's got the cane that Ripley walked around with.
The cane Ripley walked around with, like one of the fingernails from The Lady with the Longest Fingernails type shit.
Exactly, stuff like that.
It's a community college, right? So it's not like a college town per se then.
Right. I mean, we have a couple of big colleges near us, but I work more at the community level.
Right. We were in a college town last night, Walt. We were in Syracuse. We stayed over. Wow, Cinco de Mayo. There's all kinds of like students running around, and I'm telling you, like, if you're a dad and you saw these girls, you would be like, this isn't what I want for my daughter. It's scandalous, bro.
It's apparently young kids like to go to bars.
I guess, yeah, even if they're
crazy.
under 21, I don't get it.
It's crazy. It was mob. We couldn't, we're trying to drive down the streets, and it's just mobs of young kids, like, bar hopping.
And their semester's almost over, I think, because I know I'm done tomorrow, and then I'm on summer break. So they're probably winding down as well.
Do you feel we missed out by not bar hopping and doing all that stuff? Me, you and Kev, when we were young, like around that age, we were not. Yeah, we were ice skating.
Well, I wasn't. I wasn't a drinker.
Yeah.
So I don't think I missed out. I mean, who knows?
Well, how old were you when you met Deb? You were 23.
Young. But I could have still been bar hopping before that, though, and I still didn't.
You never did it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not my scene.
And then we did.
Look like they're having fun, no?
It really did. But I mean,
more fun than we were having.
Yeah,
trying to find a parking spot.
Yeah, we circled the block for 10 minutes trying to fucking find a parking place, and then hustled into the bed and breakfast or Airbnb or whatever, so we didn't get beaten up. And then we did our signing today at the Fourth Wall Comics, and success, Walt, would you say?
I would think so. I mean, a success, I think, due to the listeners who came out, because
thank you.
If you could count on your hand how many people came out because of Comic Book Men, the people who came out definitely were there because of TSD, and so I mean, a big thanks to all those who did come out.
They always come through, and it was like in sort of a remote area, New Hartford, New York. It's not like it was New York City, so people had to travel. People travel like 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I can't thank those who showed up enough for coming out and spending an afternoon with us. So
we're going to move on now. We're going to what do anyone who doesn't know about Frank 5, what do they need to know? Some fast facts about Frank 5. It appears that on the surface that he has zero respect for his wife, but then when you see them in their more intimate moments, that you know that's not true.
Nah, that seems like a shtick.
Yeah, it's Frank 5's shtick. He's like, I'm going to impress my friend. I'm going to show off a little bit.
I'm going to act tough in front of people.
Right, and then as soon as we leave, you're like, I'm sorry, I had to do it. Frank 5, we want to ask you some education questions.
Okay.
Now, recently, in the next town over from Walt and I, a serial pooper was caught.
I saw that.
Yeah, I put Homedale, New Jersey on the map. Like, it was on every social media. Like, it was on like a news app that I follow. It was the lead story that day. And, so, as much as, it really kind of like, I got a lot of emails from listeners who were like, I guess who were not happy that we did the shitholes, the world's greatest shitholes. They were like, well, are you going to talk about this now? It's right in your own backyard.
Of course we are. Yeah. Why the fuck would we not?
But yeah, so listeners who were not happy that we did that segment were daring us to call our home county a shithole.
Oh,
and I'm
God.
willing to. I have to eat some
shit. Well, let me say this: it's the difference between one superintendent shitting on a track and an entire country shitting in their water supply. I think that's the fucking difference here.
I don't think you can make that. There's not
make
much
the distinction.
No, I don't think you can. I think when it becomes
one guy shits,
national news,
yeah.
when it becomes national news, you get painted with a broad stroke. You like to paint with broad strokes. Well, now you got to accept it when someone paints you with a broad stroke.
Okay, I live in a shithole. What can I say? There you go. Is everyone happy now?
But did you ever read the story?
I did, actually. My friend's a superintendent, so I immediately sent him the story and asked him if he shit on the track of his school.
That was a running track.
Yeah. He was running on the track. Some guy was Thomas Tremaglini. He was 42. He lives about 3 miles from Homedale High School in neighboring Aberdeen. That's kind of what you were born, right? In Aberdeen, Madawan.
No, I was born in Perth Amboy. I lived in Aberdeen for a little while.
I thought so. He was running on the track at the athletic field at 5:50 a.m. when before he was arrested. I guess he's a serial pooper. He was doing it all the time.
Yeah, there was a lot of reports that I guess the track coach or the who was the groundskeeper.
Right.
How would you know?
If it's human?
Yes. That was the first thing I thought of. If you're able to make that distinction, because if I saw it,
right.
I would think bear.
It's
Although I don't know what bear looks like.
Maybe it had corn in it.
Or you know what? Maybe like Canadian goose. Like Canadian goose shit looks a lot like regular human shit.
How do you know?
You've never, because they shit all over the place. There's Canadian geese everywhere. Like you go to a park
they're
around
not
us.
just in Canada?
No, they're all, but like those geese that you see, those big ones, like around like the Homedale Commons and all that.
Yeah,
those are Canadian geese.
They drop deuces that look human.
That's why they have the geese police, so that the dogs will chase the geese away because they shit like all over the place.
I'm not so sure that that's the case. That it looks that human that you'd be like Canadian geese or human.
Okay,
that should be a new game.
Yeah, let's cut that part out so it looks like it was.
Is it human?
Yeah.
And just show various pictures
of shit
of waste.
Okay, let me see if I can find a picture for you. So there you go. It's a little green, but if that was brown instead of
I
green,
would not think, not even a chance. No. I'd be like, that's human.
No. Oh yeah. Instead, you could be like, oh, it's a bear, right? What about this?
Well,
yeah, I guess not.
What's that? That's a bear?
That's goose shit too.
Yeah, stop trying to try to prove your foul point that foul
nice work.
excrement is close to human.
Okay, well let's look at bear excrement where like
I can't believe that
like Channel 12 News is like, hey, Mr. Flanagan, what do you think? And it's like, well, I was there on the track and I mean, no, there's too many seeds and shit in the bear stuff.
Look at how dark it is.
Right? Yeah, it's real black.
All right.
I mean.
All right. Well,
so
you know
neither
what?
of them look like human shit, but you would be like, nobody's taking shits out here, especially every day. Which was the problem. And what is this dude's deal? Where it's like, I think it wasn't like he was shitting on his own track. He was shitting on a competing school somewhere in Canada.
Oh, so he was doing it, and not even at his own school, or where he was employed by.
I think he was doing it to a different school. Yeah.
Oh, school spirit, maybe.
It's number one or number two.
So, number two. School employees began monitoring the area. I mean, from
good, Frank.
From what I understand, hey, man,
I don't think Q would have made that joke. That's good.
Way. He would have been afraid.
Q would.
That's off brand.
I have nothing to lose.
I saw that wing you call a man cave. You got plenty to lose.
Yeah, you want to lose those signed photographs of Rosemary? Okay, so he was working in Kenilworth, and I guess Homedale was the competing school. So our neighborhood is not the shithole.
Oh, it was
only because a guy from Kenilworth came.
Oh, so he was traveling up to Kenilworth and doing.
No, he was traveling from Kenilworth
to Homedale.
He was the Kenilworth school superintendent.
That's not that close.
It's really not. And to be there at 5:50 in the morning, bro, what time are you leaving?
As somebody who works in education,
Yeah.
I really want this because Brian wanted to talk about this badly, but I said let's save this for when we're talking to Frank.
I was like, we'd already recorded that week. I was like, can I come down so we can just record about this week now?
I was like, no, chill out. I said, we're going to see Frank in a couple of days. I said, let's get his, since he works in the educational field. What do you, if someone came to you and you had to do a profile, do you do any profiling in your job at work?
No. I mean, I could tell if a student's going to make it or not.
Yeah, that's profiling, right?
Yeah, then I profile all the time.
What would you say if they came to you and like, what is this? Who is this? What kind of person does this? And why do you think he did it?
Oh, the shitting?
Yeah. No, what else do you think?
You were going strong for a while, Frank.
I don't know. You know, he's obviously has some kind of mental problem.
You think that you would think he has to suffer some sort of mental defect?
Yeah. I mean, because, you can kind of explain it away if it happened once. Maybe he was running and had to go to the bathroom and there was no place else to go. But, to make a conscious effort that you're driving, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes.
Maybe even longer.
Really?
Yeah. Kenilworth is not close to Homedale.
I give him credit for being regular. To be able to do that every day.
But think about this too, though. You don't have time to really be thorough after you drop a load in public. You got to pull them up and get into the car and then take a long drive back home, right? Or to your job.
Why can't you stop a few blocks away and clean up? Like, why do you have to sit in it and fucking marinate the whole time?
Come on, doing a little profiling here. But do you?
So we're looking for somebody who has smelly hands and has mental problems.
Yeah.
But also, you jump right to, you assume some mental illness.
I would think so.
But what about, you don't think there's a possibility of just anger issues? Like there's some sort of, he's been wronged by that school district?
I'm probably the angriest guy you know. Not once. Not once. It's about 25 miles from Kenilworth to Homedale.
That's a half hour. Yeah.
Yeah, you're putting effort and thought into that. That's premeditated.
Right. So you don't think there's a possibility if there's some sort of anger and he's taking it out on that school?
There's so many other things I think you could do to get back at somebody if you're angry at them. This
would be pretty rough on whoever has to deal with that and clean that up, and the trauma that.
It's not the other superintendent from Homedale. It's some fucking janitor guy who they're like, hey man, somebody took a shit out there again. Yeah. For Christ's sake.
Did he now? Okay, so would you consider the anger angle, or you don't think that's a possibility?
I mean, if it's a rival school, I mean, maybe he's angry about something, but I don't know. I mean,
he didn't get a job maybe there.
The dude was making $150,000 a year. That's a lot to be like. This is how angry.
Motivation is it possible it's a medical thing where he's like, if I run, I have to.
Yeah, but I mean, you would think he would. I don't know. Take like.
Why is he driving to a competing school to run?
Right. If you're a superintendent,
or just stop running.
Yeah,
you don't need to run. You can stop running.
Oh, I don't want to get a flappy and get all out of shape.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. What are they, like a treadmill, maybe? A treadmill and a diaper will
it's no fun shitting. It's no fun shitting on a treadmill.
Yeah, you don't want to shit on your own treadmill.
But if he's a superintendent, he has access to his own school district, so he could run on his own high school track. So he's doing this on purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
So maybe
we agree there.
Yeah,
or at least
definitely done with a purpose.
So I don't think it's medical.
Yeah. 8 times, then Homedale police set up a hidden videotape to record whoever was doing it. Like, this guy didn't think at some point, like, all right.
Well, got to be college educated to have that job, right?
Oh, you have to have a lot of schooling to have that. Yeah.
How could you be that
dumb,
foolish to think that they wouldn't set up something to try to capture who's doing this?
I know when I do it, I cover all the cameras.
Like he has all the facts.
It's not angry, just like doing it.
Yeah, so I guess I cannot find any reasoning as to why he would do
Well,
it.
he hasn't done any interviews, right?
I don't think so.
What do you think the fallout is, Frank?
He's definitely fired.
I don't know about
even
that.
if he's got tenure?
I don't think administration gets tenure. At least not in New York.
Alleged pooping superintendent kept on leave despite outcry.
Paid leave, right?
Paid leave.
Usually.
Despite the outcry. Some residents appeared at the meeting and hoped he would be fired now that the story has gained national attention.